All right, Bryon Powell of iRunFar here behind the camera in island of La Palma, the Canaries, with 5 of the American runners who will be running the Transvulcania ultramarathon this weekend. How are you guys?
Good. Awesome.
So what's it like, for years sort of the American community raced mostly in the United States. Now there's a whole lot of racing over in Europe. What's it like coming over here to race? I mean, Dakota, Geoff, you guys have been here before.
We've never been here before.
Well, not to the island, but you've been to Europe to race.
We've been to Europe to race, and it's very cool. This is very different from anything, though. This is just a volcanic island rising straight out of the ocean. It's incredible. It's intimidating, actually.
It takes a long time to get here. That's one thing I'm thinking about right now. Is it takes a long time to get here, but.
I mean, how does that play into racing? I mean, do you think it's a factor?
Yeah, but I just slept 12 hours. I think we all just slept 12 hours. So
you guys did have the ultramarathon sleep session going on. And Mike, you've raced here for UTMB a couple times.
Yeah.
Have you guys learned anything from that experience of coming over and make the transition easier?
Well, I think it definitely, you know a little bit more what to expect coming over in terms of what the scene is like over here. I mean, not that we knew what to expect here, but you show up and there's a lot, there's a lot more media over here. It's kind of an entourage. We show up at the airport first thing and they're taking photos and giving us bags of some crazy toucan bird stuff or something. Anyway, it's just, I think I've learned that from UTMB that there can be a lot more hubbub, around a race, and maybe more prepared for that, just to take it as it comes and just, be ready to race and not worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of interesting that there is that interesting difference in the amount of media and attention placed, but that also, do you think that's where the sport's going to have to go in the United States if there's going to be more corporate support and more, flying Europeans over to race in America as people have flown you guys over here to race? Is that just a natural progression of the sport? Anybody? I mean, Tony, you've flown around a lot.
I have, yeah, but I find it really hard to believe at this point that anyone in the United States would actually be willing to put up the money to fly Europeans over, just because the culture is so different in the States around mountain racing. I think that's sort of a shame, but because it'd be fun to race Europeans in North America too. But I mean, I don't know if it has to go that way. There doesn't necessarily, I suppose in order to raise money, you're going to have media, which is fine. I mean, as long as you can still keep your mind focused on the race.
I mean, do any of you find it all distracting to chat with, not just, say one person, but, there's a bunch of international media here today. Does that take away from the racing experience, get you out of the mindset at all, or?
I don't think so. I just slept 12 hours, roll out of bed, just got to rest all day, and so we just hang out in this resort hotel and talk about ourselves.
Y'all look pretty chill today.
Talk about it.
I mean, I think it's distracting a little, but then it's like, at the same time, there aren't hundreds and hundreds of the masses of the participants and the runners milling around who sort of know who we are and come to us, which is great. I mean, I love being at races and make friends and all that, but it's kind of like over here there's all this media focus, and it's really just chatting with media folks instead of chatting with a bunch of other participants. It's sort of the same feel in terms of I'm just talking to people that know who I am and I don't generally know who they are.
Let me actually, Dakota, tell us a little bit about the hype machine. You did a provocative post the other week. How much do you think that plays into where the sport is and going?
I think that if we want to keep racing like this and flying around the world to do races like this, which are incredible opportunities, I think we need the media. I mean, right now there's 6 cameras trained on us, and I think that it can be handled well. I think it can be handled smartly and be a very good thing for the sport. I think my only reservations are that people will get so focused in parts of the sport that don't have anything to do with running, and I just don't want that to happen. I'm in this to run, and my favorite part is going out on a run like yesterday and just enjoying it. And yesterday we went out for a run, and sort of stopped running and jumped in the ocean for a while. And
You guys explore some volcanic tubes, right?
yeah.
Well, he jumped off a 45-foot cliff, is what he means by jumping.
Isn't that against your contract somehow?
Yeah, it was actually really cool, and that's just like a good example of how like laid back it is. You know, we just like to go out and run, and I think that I think that right now we have a good balance between doing it for the right reasons and also building up the hype so that we can make money off the sport too.
Yeah. Well, speaking about running, you guys are over here to run. Most of you are over here to run an 83K, 51.5 mile race. What's it like coming over to a place where, before you ever run Western States or Hard Rock, you know a dozen or dozens of people who've run it and you can talk to them and gain that experience. Here, you really don't have anybody to talk to about what kind of food and water are on the course, and you don't know what the standard is over here. Like, how do you prepare for that unknown mentally? Anybody?
I think you prepare more in a self-supported manner. Like we were just talking about the fact that I don't think there's any drop bags or anything on the course, and they don't provide gels at the aid stations, and so you just kind of have to know that in advance and plan accordingly if you're going to bring more gels at the start or just try and wing it and use some of what they will have at the aid stations. And so there's a little more unknown, I guess, on that front. And you have required gear that you need to carry, so by default you have to carry a pack or something to carry the gear in, and so you're probably going to end up carrying more gels in that too. So
How about footing and like just the layout of the course wise? Again, for races in the States, you can really get a very good sense of what it's going to be like in terms of what shoes and how you actually approach the different segments of the course. Have you guys got a good briefing or sense of what the race course is like?
that's happening in half an hour.
I think it's exciting to, certainly by tomorrow morning I want to know a little more maybe than what I know now, but it's kind of fun. I mean, it feels more like just going out for a run in a totally new place, which it is. And if I knew every little detail of the course, it wouldn't have as much of that novel feel. It's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Running's just running.
Yeah.
You go around the mountains and
You kind of know how hard to run for 8
exactly.
hours.
We all know how to run. We know it's going to take between 7 and 8 hours. So go run.
And I guess at this point, you guys have raced a bunch of the top Europeans before. It's some people try to make a big thing about the U.S. versus Europe, but I mean, like within the U.S., you guys are all very casual and friendly. And having seen you guys interact with the Europeans, it seems very the same way. You might not all speak the same languages as well, but what do you guys feel about like interacting with the top European racers? Like, I mean, do you guys think?
Well, I mean, there's language barrier, which is difficult, obviously, and I think that's the main thing. Not for this guy, but
everyone's just very, very friendly, and it's not so much. I mean, of course, everyone races hard on race day, but we're all eating together, and we'll all have brews after together, and it's not